What is up, scooter heads? Hey, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. This is my review of my 2021 Honda CBR 500R. I picked up this beautiful machine on January 29th, 2022 in the dead of winter. If you're looking to purchase a CBR 500R, stick around. I'm going to let you know what my thoughts are regarding this beautiful motorcycle. So I've reached about 600 miles on my CBR 500. Just had the service done. 600 mile service was completed, was flawless, good to go. But I do think that it's enough time that's gone by where I'm able to make a real good assessment as far as how I feel about the bike and do my review. Let's talk about specs, baby. The CBR 500R has a 471 cubic inch liquid-cooled parallel twin, dual overhead cam, 4 valves per cylinder, 6-speed manual transmission. It's got a slipper clutch. It has 30.9-inch seat height, 4.5 gallon fuel capacity, and weighs about 423 pounds. Wet and ready to ride. It's got about 31 pound-feet of torque and 47 horsepower. I said this one does have anti-lock brakes, and it is able to get out its own way. So I definitely appreciate the performance on this bike. It is an all-around solid bike in my opinion. I am a newer rider, so I'm coming from a Honda ADV 150 that I purchased in 2021. So this bike was my bike that transitioned me from my Honda ADV 150. I did learn a lot of the fundamental skills as far as riding on public roads on another motorcycle, in that Honda ADV 150. So this was the next level for me. It's had a little bit more power, and I always wanted a sport bike where I could shift the gears. So I want to talk about the things that I love about the Honda CBR 500R. Number one has to be the aesthetics. It is a great looking motorcycle. It has the Fireblade DNA all the way down from, the highest CBR down to this one. It is a beautiful bike in my opinion. Looks are subjective, but I don't care. I think this bike is beautiful. And that was one of the biggest factors as to why I purchased this bike. Second, though, we've got super comfortable bike. The ergonomics are amazing. I've ridden this bike for hours and have not been in a place where I felt like, oh, my back hurts, my ass hurts, or anything like that. This bike is super comfortable. It's got adequate power. You just got to know where that power band is. It's between 6,000 and 8,500 RPMs. If you know where the sweet spot is, the bike will accelerate, and it will accelerate quickly. It's got full LEDs. I love that. I love that menacing look when I walk up to the bike with the lights on, or if I'm pulling in the garage and it's parked just right. It looks beautiful. It's got a 4.5 gallon gas tank. Gas mileage is between 55 and I think up to 70 miles per gallon. I average 55 miles per gallon. It's got a slightly adjustable suspension. I have not made any changes from how it was when I got it from the dealership. So it's super comfortable. That's why I haven't changed it. And with the 2022s, that's even more, it's even better. So I do think that this is an all-around great bike. It's great for the city. It's great for rural roads. It holds its own on the expressway. All great things. It does have reasonable insurance, okay? I went from paying about $28 per month with my Honda ADV 150 up to $72 with the CBR 500R, and then back down to $51 after I took my motorcycle safety course. So the insurance on this is very reasonable, and that's with comp and collision, what they call full coverage. The build quality, everybody talks about Honda build quality. I do think that it is great build quality for this. So those are the things I love about this Honda CBR 500R. I looked at a ton of bikes before I purchased my Honda CBR 500R. I did fall in love with the styling of this motorcycle. Now, as with anything, nothing's all perfect. Nothing's all good. There are some things that I'm not blown away about with this bike. And if I had the opportunity to change, if I was in Honda's boardrooms and wasn't getting a huge salary and didn't have stock holders to worry about or anything like that, there are some things that I would change with this motorcycle. I think that this bike is overpriced. $69.99 plus $400 freight. This was for the 21. $400 freight, and then you had your setup fee and taxes. So you could be about $9,000 to $9,500 out the door for this motorcycle. I don't want to get into the out the door price. I want to talk about the actual $69.99 price or $71.99 for the 2022 model. This bike to me needs to be about $500 to $1,000 less than it is. You've got your Ninja 650, which has 67 horsepower, very similar riding position, but it does have 67 horsepower. It has a TFT display. There's a lot that bike packs. You can integrate your Bluetooth with it. There's some elements there that are, above that $800-900 difference, I think. You've got the Ninja 400. I believe that one is $56.99 right now. Maybe $58.99. I haven't really checked recently, but that one is basically this bike in Kawasaki's form. Very, very similar. To me, it doesn't look as good. It might not be popular that I say that, but I don't care. To me, this bike looks way better. But as far as performance, that one has a higher rev limit. It's lighter. There are a lot of elements like that would actually make that bike a little bit more appealing for some. I don't mind the weight on the Honda CBR 500R, but if you were ever racing these two, it's a possibility that Ninja could take it because of the difference in weight and whatever you weigh, obviously. The MT-07, $78.99. SV650, $77.49. These are all bigger bikes with bigger engines. And you've got Suzuki and Yamaha in those situations. They are very reliable bikes. So there's a small margin between that $71.99 now and $69.99 when I purchased my 21, where there's a lot of bikes that you can get in that price point. And if you don't want to spend so much, and you in the R3 world or the MT-03 or the Z400, this bike is overpriced. So that's one thing I don't like about this bike. The other thing is there's less aftermarket performance parts for this bike. You can go to TST Industries, for example, and purchase a performance pack for any of those, the R3, the Ninja 400. Those are available for those bikes. So that if you're looking to modify your bike, I don't know if this bike is, as far as performance is concerned, I don't know that this bike is the best bike for modifications. So just something to think about. I'm going to rate my 2021 Honda CBR 500R based on my experience with this motorcycle. And this will make it a little bit more tangible if you're shopping for this bike. So first thing, I'm going to rate this on a scale of 1 to 10. Obviously 10 being the best and 1 being horrible. And we'll see how it rates. It's going to be, we've got 10 metrics that I'll be looking at to give it a whole score. So first item on the list is economy. This bike gets between, probably 40 up to 75 miles per gallon. So it's a very efficient engine. I would definitely rate this, amongst other sport bikes, at an 8. Okay. the next category is going to be acceleration. Now, if I'm rating this against other sports bikes, the acceleration 0 to 60, I know it's under 5 seconds, and I believe it's in the mid 4s. So if you're driving a car, that's fast, but on a motorcycle, it feels quick, but it's not like blazingly fast. So I did rate that as a 6. Handling, you've got some preload adjustability on front and rear suspension. It's not a full, you can't do a full customization on the suspension as far as changing and dialing in the settings. The handling for me is fine, so I gave it an 8. Comfort. This motorcycle is one of the most comfortable sports bikes that you could purchase. I did rate that as a 9. Next, we have features. This bike doesn't have a lot of features. It has ABS, which I had to pay for, and it does have a slipper clutch, which I'm going to rate that as a 6 because it's not a ton of features. It has a digital dash, but there's no tech behind it. It's not TFT or anything like that. Next, we have quality. My time with this bike, I had no issues with it at all. I would give it a 10, but I know nothing's perfect, so I'm going to give it a 9. Maintenance was great, no issues there. Gave that a 9 as well. Styling, I would really want to give this a 10, but I did give it a 9 just because nothing's perfect. Insurance, I gave it an 8. Overall value, I gave this a 6. It is a higher priced, low CC motorcycle. There are better values out there as far as this category of motor. To recap, economy 8, acceleration 6, handling 8, comfort 9, features 6, quality 9, maintenance 9, styling 9, insurance rates 8, and overall value, I gave it a 6. So if my calculations are right, the overall score out of 100 is about 78. So I do think it is a very good motorcycle. I love my CBR 500R, and it's just that there are other options that are out there that are very compelling. So just think about that if you're shopping. If this is your first sport bike that you're shopping for, I do think that this is a great motorcycle. One bike that I closely considered was the Ninja 650. This bike, it does have the technology with the TFT display. You get a larger engine, 649 cc's with 67 horsepower. The price point, depending on if you get ABS or not ABS or the KRT edition, you're looking at a range of about between $800 and maybe $1,500, or with the 2022 is probably about $1,200 more for the Ninja 650. And there's a lot there to think about. If you're looking for something that's a little bit bigger, that may be a motorcycle that is something to really take a look at and compare. If you like the price point of the CBR, by all means, go for it. But if you want to get a little bit more value there, that's Ninja 650 is another great option. Here's some final thoughts about my experience with my CBR 500R. Great all-arounder. You've got plenty of power for city riding, plenty of power for the expressway, plenty of power for your rural roads. You could take this bike across the country. It may be a little bit tricky because it is a sport bike, but as far as comfort, this is one of the most comfortable bikes out. So it is a great bike. If you are looking for a all-arounder that you're going to hold on to for a good amount of time, this is a great choice, in my opinion. If you're not a horsepower fiend or someone that has to go super fast, this is the bike for you. If you like naked bikes, or if you like the comfort of a naked bike, but like the styling of sport bikes, this is your bike. And I think I fit into that. What my plans are is I'm going to hold on to my Honda CBR 500 for about 2 years. I may assess at that point whether or not I want to go into a CBR 650 or RS 660, something like that. And I'm glad that I've taken the transitional steps from my Honda ADV 150 to the 500 and then so on. I do want to get to a point where instead of replacing my primary bike, I want to start getting 2 to 3 bikes that have different capabilities, like an ADV bike or naked bike or cruiser. I even looked at Harley Davidson's recently, and I just don't want to spend 30 racks on a street glide or a road glide, but I would love to have one of those in my garage at one point, during my motorcycling career. So I do think that this bike is chef's kiss. I love it. I would buy it again. And I think for me at the time that I purchased this bike, this was the perfect bike for me. So hope you guys enjoy my review. Again, this is my review. I know that you guys are gonna probably have some different opinions, and that's quite okay. But I'm happy with my purchase. And all right, so do you think I was too hard on the bike or not hard enough on this bike? If you're in the market for a Honda CBR 500R, tell me if there's anything that changed your opinion based on this review. How would you rate the motorcycle if you already own a CBR 500R? Let me know. Drop it in the comment section. Definitely appreciate you guys for watching. Continue to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will check you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed the review. Peace!